Your pet isn't just a pet. They're part of your family. Most of the pet food on the market is cooked at high temperatures, which kills nutrients. A scoop of Dynamite is a 3-in-1 daily supplement, adding back key nutrients to your pup's health. Try Dynamite for free. Just pay shipping and handling. Learn more at dinovite.com/radio. That's dynamite.com/radio. Happier, healthier with every bite. Over 1 million pets helped with Dynamite. KFBK, Sacramento's news radio. Everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. We are Armstrong and Getty, and this is the best weekend talk show in America. Grab our podcast called Armstrong and Getty On Demand.
The Armstrong and Getty Show.
Lovely quote of the day, continuing on with our series about beauty, which is a little quaint now that we're in the frightening period of constant conflict on Earth. It's the week leading up to Thanksgiving now, focusing on beauty. All it is. Yeah, well, it's probably in vain, but Aldous Huxley said this: beauty is worse than wine. It intoxicates both the holder and the beholder. That's pretty good. So that's just talking about physical beauty. Yes, pretty people. Yeah, it's interesting as I scan all these many, many quotes. Some of them are very touching and about the beauty of God's creation and that sort of thing. But Huxley's talking about, you got a hottie. She can get away with a lot, and so you end up doing stupid things because your girlfriend's hot or whatever, or your boyfriend's handsome, and you put up with crap. Meanwhile, they think their excrement does not exude odor. I've known a few really attractive people who's like, they talk about it a lot. Okay, it's true. You're in that, but it's not as big a deal as you think it is. Okay, we're not all quite as entranced as you think we are. Right, and the moment it fades out comes the plastic surgeon's eye. Anyway, here's your mailbag. Drop us a line. The email address is mailbag@armstrongandgetty.com. Why Marvel movies are failing, writes Garrick. Former lover of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's simple. Since Avengers Endgame, in 2019, the movies are woke with characters nobody cares about and horrible writing. I can write examples, but even with unlimited space in an email, I still wouldn't have enough room. Things just got bad. Yeah, I hear the woke criticism a lot. I haven't seen that. Just dull is the problem I've come across. That is the greatest sin in entertainment. Yeah, honestly. Especially in the modern era where there's so many options. I got like 6 different things I subscribe to with 100 shows on each. If you're not holding my attention, I'll go to something else. Right. Dave in L.A. This is long, but it's so good, I thought I'd go with the whole thing on the topic of America's next president, Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom is insufferable. The other day you played clips of Gabby defending his cleaning up of the city for She's arrival, San Francisco. This scumbag used what he thought was a cute metaphor, comparing the cleanup to straightening up your house when you have company. I think I have a more apt analogy. What he's doing more is, I'm sorry, I'm trying to edit as I go, but anyway, what he's doing is more like if you were the sole breadwinner in your relationship. You pay for everything. You tell your companion, hey, I don't mind making all the money, but could you please keep the house tidy and take care of things? Well, it turns out the house is filthy, the clutter's becoming a fire hazard, witness the 10 freeway in Los Angeles. The toilet is overflowing, local criminals come and go as they please, stealing money off your dresser, all the while your significant other is treating themselves to DoorDash and Amazon deliveries on your credit card. Then one day your neighbor who's suing you over a property line dispute announces they're coming over for dinner, and suddenly, out of the blue, your significant other decides to clean up. They can't really clean everything in time, so they just sweep all the mess into your bedroom, spray some air freshener, pop in a breath mint just in time for the neighbor's arrival. Then on top of that, when you say something to your partner, they blow you off and act like you're the crazy one. F. Gavin Newsom, I can't stand the phone. What a lying weasel. Hallelujah, holy yes. Where's the Tylenol? Take the socks, let's put them in the drawer. The heck? Yeah, so I saw some writing about this yesterday from one of my favorite writers. He made the point that, yeah, you do clean up when company comes over, but not only when company comes over. That's where the analogy breaks down. You clean up the house other times, too. You make your kids pick up the room, you pick up now and then, and, maybe a little more when company comes over. But San Francisco has been filthy forever. Just now. And then the other thing is, it puts a lie to the whole, well, we can't move the homeless at the street if you want to. You can make them go somewhere else. Well, I'll be darned. You can make them go somewhere else, so why haven't you? Well, and I love Dave's metaphor because it's worse than just a filth. The crime part. We have a bargain with you. We will pay for everything government does. Everything. In return, you will provide these services. And now they've said, you know, we're going to enrich our cronies and not bother providing the services because our woke brethren say enforcing the law is racist. So, never mind.
Armstrong and Getty.
I'm Jack Armstrong. He's Joe Getty. We're the Armstrong and Getty Show. Do you like to stay informed, to know what's going on in the world? Then we can't stand the liberal media bias. We think we have the show for you. Armstrong and Getty On Demand. 4 episodes available every day on the iHeartRadio app.
LifeSource is the best whole home water system. It's Kitty O'Neill, and now's your best time to buy with the LifeSource Black Friday sale. Save up to $1,000. Act now to take advantage of the lowest prices this year. Call 1-800-WATER-99 or visit LifeSourceWater.com.
Warranty limitations apply.
Tributes to the death of a former First Lady, citing her intelligence, strength, and caring. Rosalind Carter was 96, married to former President Jimmy Carter for 77 years. Former ABC News White House correspondent Ann Compton.
She always had a very influential partnership with her husband. He'd been a governor, a candidate, then as president, and he was the one who turned to Rosalind and would often ask for her help and advice.
Impressed with her combination of self-discipline and southern charm, reporters nicknamed her the Steel Magnolia. During her 4 years as First Lady, Rosalind Carter continued to work for reforms in mental health programs, increased aid for the elderly, and remained committed to women's issues. The First Lady from Plains will be remembered for her commitment to building what she called a more caring society.
ABC's Martha Raddatz. Mr. and Mrs. Carter were big supporters of Habitat for Humanity. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
From California's capital city, now trending on KFBK, Sacramento's News Radio.
Bay Area ending a string of soaking with widespread rain on Saturday after offshore winds finally moved an unusually predictable storm system eastward through the region that caused temporary flooding, ponding in the roadways, and some scattered lightning. Some places got nearly 5 inches of rain. Heading south for the holiday, well, the I-10 freeway in Los Angeles will be open tomorrow morning for the commute. California Governor Gavin Newsom providing the update at a morning news conference with LA Mayor Karen Bass and Vice President Kamala Harris.
10,000 labor hours all told to get us to this point ahead of schedule. 8 days to get this thing open and operational. And that means, if you're doing the math, that this thing opens tonight.
I'm Phil Farrar.
Now, Sacramento traffic.
A new crash in Vacaville has got your foot tap dancing on the brakes a bit. Eastbound 80 on Meridian. It's in the center to find your stop and go from Leisuretown Road as a result. Bumper-to-bumper traffic, Highway 50 westbound between the 50-99 split and 15th Streets. Southbound I-5 before the Garden Highway heads up for a stall in the second lane for the right. Change required on Highway 88 between Silver Lake and Pickett's Junction. On 4, you're going to need to chain up 2 miles west of the Mount Reba turnoff. 89 closed from 395 to Highway 4, and no restrictions at this time for 80 and 50. Traffic on the 10s every 10 minutes, mornings and afternoons. Steve Herrera, KBK News Radio 93.1 FM, 1530 AM.
Now, Sacramento weather.
Mostly clear for us tonight. A bit of a breeze early. Lows will be between 43 and 47. A lot of sunshine for tomorrow. Highs will be between 63 and 67. Chilly tomorrow night with some clouds. Lows will be in the upper 30s and low 40s. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on KFBK, Sacramento's News Radio.
Building a better Sacramento. KFBK, Sacramento's News Radio.
Over the last 30 years, 8 million U.S. service members have returned home after serving our country around the world. The biggest challenge a returning vet faces is getting back to everyday life. And a key to that is personal wellness. iHeartRadio has teamed up with some of America's biggest veteran organizations and programs to create Show Your Stripes, a one-stop destination for veterans and their families to find the resources they need. If you're a veteran facing challenges, or if you're looking out for the well-being of a veteran you know, visit showyourstripes.org today.
At Ulta Beauty's Black Friday sale, I get up to 50% off all week long on over 500 can't-miss deals. Starting November 19th, shop 40% off stunning Morphe eyeshadow palettes and 50% off select Solo skincare products. Plus, starting Tuesday, shop $12 mascaras from brands like Tarte, Benefit, and Fenty, and $12 lippies from brands like Lancome and Kylie Cosmetics. Hurry in store or place your online pickup order today. Ulta Beauty, the possibilities are beautiful.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more straight talk. Let's take a moment to appreciate our sweet children, loving grandparents, and eternal soulmates. Now let's use them to save money on wireless. Because with the Straight Talk Silver Plan, you get 4 lines for just $25 a month with unlimited data and no contract. So add those human bonds, loved ones, and save money. Thanks, James. You're finally worth it. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Get 4 lines on Silver Unlimited for $25 per line per month plus taxes and fees. For data management practices and additional terms, visit straighttalk.com.
Visit Craveable.com, CraveBLE.com. Authentic restaurant meals delivered. Enter AG25 for 25% off. Kenny. And now, Armstrong and Getty. Welcome to the best weekend talk show in America. These are crazy times. We at the Armstrong and Getty Show do our best to document it for you without the left-wing media spin that is so annoying. Yeah, not much to talk about. Too much to talk about. We try to boil it down to the best and the most truthful stuff we can come across. By the way, if you like what you're about to hear, catch more of us, our podcast, Armstrong and Getty On Demand. Israel fighting for its survival, fat communists visiting California. There's so much to discuss on the best weekend talk show in America. Dean drops us a note in which he says essentially there are complexities on both sides, and he's never really bought that. He's always made a distinction between Palestinians and Hamas. I was moved by your declaration of the fight for Western culture and all that is good in this world. When I heard the speech from the woman at the protest in D.C., that would be Ms. Lamis Deek, Palestinian activist. Hit us with 85, Michael. From the Western world and bring on Sharia law. That's what Dean was referring to. When I heard that, the prosecution of Americans for genocide, I was immediately convinced that there's no way to stay neutral. This really is a war for enlightenment versus Islamism, capitalism versus communism, relative good versus absolute evil. We cannot let these backward ideas take over the Western world. I would agree completely. Yeah, the question in all those pro-Palestinian marches, like the 300,000 in London, how many of them are full-on, I support what Hamas did? Israel brought it on themselves, as I heard somebody actually say to me that day. Or they're just like Hamas adjacent, they just think they're helping out the downtrodden. We don't know. The soft-headed victim oppressor view people, the 20-somethings, almost entirely, yeah. If you still think that way and you're 30, God help you. Your head is soft. It is very, very soft. Wear a helmet everywhere you go. Pity you. But getting, you get me started on this, I could go on all day, but getting back to Jack's point about Iran being the wellspring of all of this and that brave young woman's speech, making that clear, I was reminded of the Israeli ambassador to the UN. We played that clip in which he asked all of the Arab nations, where are your Jews? You had 40% of your population was Jewish 30 years ago. Where are your Jews? You had 800,000 Jews in the 20th century. Where are your Jews? That was righteous and good. But anyway,
Katie in L.A. writes, guys, thanks for your words of sanity in these chaotic times. I could not agree with you any more that this is not a fight over territory. It's a war against all Western values of democracy, justice, liberty, and life. Israel's just the front. I know this from personal experience as I watched the pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas demonstrations, the shouting, the open hatred and anger. I can tell you where it all began. I was there for its birth, in Iran. I was a teenager when the Iranian Revolution happened in 1979, and I vividly remember the hundreds of thousands of demonstrators who called for the overthrow of the Shah, using very similar slogans to what you see being shouted against Israel today. Replace Israel and Jews with America or democracy, and you'll have the same slogans, shouting with the same hatred, same anger, calling for death and destruction of the Shah, who was perceived to be, and in reality was indeed, a puppet of the West, i.e. the U.S. I could go off on a tangent here about some of the dictators in the Middle East who are absolutely unsavory characters with unsavory regimes, but they're the bulwark against religious nut jobs. In the same way that, some of the Central South American regimes the U.S. supported in the 20th century were awful, but they were the only bulwark against a bunch of throat-slitting communists. So yeah, it's my bad guy versus your bad guy. But anyway, moving along. Most people know what happened. The stupidest president to sit in the White House, well, Biden may surpass him. He still has another year. Told the Shah to leave. And now we know, based on released CIA files, Carter was secretly talking to Khomeini through back channels and got assurances, may he burn in hell forever and ever, that if the U.S. supports him to take over, he would remain a friend to the U.S. Apparently, he pinky swore, and our smart president at the time, much like this one, really wanted to make friends with Iran, took them at their word. You know how that friendship went if you watched Argo. Great movie. Very entertaining.
Oh, I've not seen Argo. And that is a good movie? It's about all this?
It's about trying to get Americans out of Iran during the revolution, the taking of the hostages era.
It's the Ben Affleck vehicle.
Yeah, it's absolutely terrific.
Okay, I'll have to watch it.
Anyway, more importantly, though, is my distinct memory of what Khomeini would say. This is the Ayatollah Khomeini, the first ruler of the Islamic Republic of Iran. My distinct memory of what Khomeini would say to the people of Iran on TV in Farsi, I'll never forget his words, quote, "So far, our main export has been oil, but starting now, our main export to the world will be jihad." Everything you see today can be traced back to those words. Khomeini and his replacements have had one goal for the past 40 years, a holy war. A war where the evil West, America, the great Satan, and Israel, the little Satan, and their evil ways, showing their hair and bubble, for example, will be replaced by the true religion of Islam, where gay people can be hanged from cranes in the middle of the street, and you can't have a glass of wine after work, or go dancing, or be caught in red nail polish. This is what these uninformed, naive children are chanting for. I hope they get a chance to go live in Iran or Gaza for a few weeks, and then express their utterly idiotic, nonsensical opinions. Sorry, this was a long HHWDTII. Here's hoping we don't turn into an Iran. Oh my God, that is the most... I don't know what acronym anybody's ever said. That was the heaviest yet hilarious acronym anybody's ever said. Katie, I think I'm in love. That is to unleash a screed that's powerful, eloquent, and historically important, then end with HHWTII. Oh, boy. So that's it. That's it. There's your answer. It's interesting that she mentions that about Jimmy Carter being naive about the Ayatollah and the Ayatollah. Oh, no. We're good people. This is what we want. Because that's exactly what Josh Rogan is writing in the Washington Post today about Biden and she. That Biden thinks she is, and they're actually friends, and she cares about his feelings, and and you can take his promises as true and that sort of thing. Wow. The Judeo-Christian principles that made this country great make us vulnerable. We want to be good, and we have this fantasy that other people and powers and leaders around the world also ultimately want to be good. They may, through their circumstances, have to do some tough stuff, but they're like us. They want to be a good person. That is so freaking naive.
Yeah, I have trouble with that in my own personal life. I have trouble believing that, no, you wouldn't lie about that like that much. No, you couldn't. That couldn't be. It's easy for me to
where if I have a personal relationship for somebody to think there's no way they'd be trying to take advantage of me. Well, it's time to wake up.
There is a poll out about what people's attitudes are about hiring